it's me, Renee. I'm back. And as you can see, this is another peek into my TBR. My TBR of that meaning like books I own, not like books I want to own, but like books, physical books I own. I suppose I have audiobooks, but yeah. Uh, my TBR of funny books. Oh, I suppose it's TBR, so I suppose I don't know if they are funny because, so spoiler alert, haven't read them. But they are books for some reason or not. I think are gonna be funny. And when I say funny, I kind of mean like that I laugh or laugh a lot, not just a smile or like but like that I laugh out loud or like laugh a bit. Yeah, laugh aloud. I kind of planned to do this originally on Saturday, but then kind of life happened, so I couldn't really film it. But yeah, here I am doing it now and having it on a Wednesday. Waiting on Wednesday is a thing. Waiting on Wednesday is usually when you talk about a book that's not out yet that you can't wait for. I might do another video like anticipated funny books. Well, I plan to do that. But yeah, today is just gonna be a peek on the books that I own that I think are gonna be funny. And yeah, as always, if you read any of these books, if you have any funny books to recommend, please talk to me in the comments. Also, I have a new t-shirt on. You might have seen it. How to uh, how to offend a woman in five syllables or less. And yeah, it's one of my favorite quotes and quite a funny quote. And yeah, I suppose it's from a movie that's it's not very standard, though a lot of people have watched it. So if you get the reference, cool. If not, it's just a funny quote. So yeah. First we have Questland by Carol Vaughan. So I read one Carol Vaughan book years ago, and she's written like both books for adults and kids. And yeah, I believe this is an adult book, but I suppose I think it's kind of like a Jumanji book where like they would use it's just for adults, but it's just kind of it's these persons they find a game and then they get sucked into a game. So I suppose kind of like Dungeons and Dragons style, I believe. But also I think it's kind of takes like a piss out of like those kind of stuff. So I think for some reason I have an idea that this is gonna be funny, like haha fun, not just like entertaining, but like haha funny. I suppose I should like try to stop myself from saying from defining funny all this video because I mean it's going to be the same thing for all the videos for all the books. But and then we have Paula Santiago and the River of Tears by Taylor Kai Mejia. So this is a Rick Riordan Presents book, and kind of like so it's kind of based around the idea that you mix mythology with humor, kind of like Percy Jackson. This is more legend, but yeah, it's Mexican legend. And yeah, I started slightly, but I have not really gotten far into it. Don't know why. But yeah, I can't believe it's gonna be funny. I just haven't gotten to it yet, simply. I suppose in a way it's kind of weird maybe that I have so many books that I think are gonna be funny because I love to laugh when I read. So like why I have so many unreads of those. I suppose there's just a lot of books and then sometimes I don't get to them all. I don't know. I can't really explain it. And then we have Reputation by Alex Kotcher. So this is um, a fun historical book. I believe it's the first in a series. Maybe it's the first in a companion series. I'm not quite sure if it's companion or not. Also, kind of funny because it's described as for fans of Fleabag and Bridgerton. Bridgerton, I enjoy. I don't love. Fleabag, actually never watched, but still, it is historical funny. So yeah, I'm kind of wanting to pick it up. And then we have So What If I'm the Chosen One, which I got I think like last fall, and I just kind of thought so randomly online, and it just looked so cool, and I just love the title. And then I got it, and then I saw, oh, it has two line here and here, so it's a sequel. I'm like, okay, so I have a sequel now, and not the first in series. So that's kind of Here I don't know why I haven't read it, but I do quite want to read it. But yeah, I have to read a prequel, well, the first book first. So yeah. And then we have The Thief Knot by Kate Milford, a green glass house story. Actually bought this book last year. I kind of asked some people in a Facebook group, like, do you have any funny books? I want some new funny books. So I bought this of that recommendation. Actually, it's slightly, like, 11 pages into it. So I started slightly. Again, I suppose, I'm a mood reader, so I haven't really been in mood for, yeah, to read much more into it. But yeah, I love this cover, and yeah, kind of, so far, like, it's not like I'm not enjoying it, it's just like other shiny books. But yeah, I think this is probably gonna be a funny book. Sorry. And then we have also another new book, but this one I'm pretty sure it's gonna be funny. It's Friends to Keep in Art and Life. So this is kind of like a spin of, like, there was version of this who came at first 2 or 3 years ago about like uh and I'm looking out. But yeah, there was the other one was about yeah, men to avoid in art and real life. And yeah, so this is Friends to Keep in art and real life. And yeah, so it's just kind of, it has classical paintings and then just kind of some comments on it. And yeah, I believe it's gonna be fun with some catchy dialogue and, well, catchy comments and funny pictures. So yeah. And then we have another book I've had for quite a while, Wench by Maxine Kaplan. This was actually first a comic book, and then it also got turned into a book. I'm never quite sure, like, what's the difference between a comic book and a, well, I know what the difference is, but like, how do you differentiate when you talk about them? Like a comic book, you kind of know what you talk about when you talk about them. But like a book, that's not a comic book. I mean, I suppose you could say a book with no pictures, but I mean, a book can still have pictures without being a comic book. A non-comic book? I don't know. Like, I'm kind of curious if there's like a name for that, or like, how would you? Anyway, yeah. So yeah, this is kind of I think it's kind of described as like a romp set in like Middle Ages, and I think, yeah, it doesn't really say if like if she goes on an adventure, if she's just, yeah, fast-paced, action-packed, and totally magical. So yeah, there's magic and adventure in it. So yeah, I am excited to get to it. I have not started this one, but I do quite want to. I just haven't. But yeah, I suppose it's not like I have all these unread books. I have all these unread treasures in my future. It's a good way to see it, instead of like saying like, why don't I read the books I own? I say like, what? No, I have books to enjoy in the future. And then we have another new book, How to Be Perfect. The correct answer to every moral question by Michael Soar. So he was the creator of The Good Place. And it's kind of like a interesting non-fiction book about moral and ethics and kind of stuff like that. And at the back it says like, going to give you answers to questions like, how much money should I give to charity? Which I suppose is a good, interesting like thought. Like, should you give all the money? Should you? I suppose you can't give all your money, but like, should you give half your money? I mean, some religions say like you have to give so 1% and whatnot. But yeah. Can I still enjoy great art if it was created by terrible people? Which is a very good thinking. I mean, very good conundrum, really. And then, should I punch my friend in the face for no reason? Which I'm just quite curious, like, how would you? I mean, because the first two are kind of logical. The second one's like, third one's like, why? So yeah, I'm thinking this is gonna be quite funny. Also make me think, but yeah, quite funny. And then we have also a new book, The Mammoth Book of Losers, over 2,000 years of epic failure and underachievement by Carl Shaw. So yeah, this one, it's all about different failures in the. I'm not quite sure if it's failures worldwide or if it's just like based in the UK, because I do know that the author is British. But honestly, I'm not quite sure if the failure is like everywhere, but because it doesn't really say in the back like if this British failure or just failure in general. But yeah, anyway, yeah, gone assuming this is quite funny. That's it's kind of a given, really. I'm thinking. And then we have Sex, Money, Power. Oh, sorry, Sex, Power, Money by Sarah Pascoe. It's a non-fiction book about sex, power, and money. But yeah, Sarah Pascoe is kind of mainly a comedian, stand-up comedian, but she also writes books sometimes. So, and I also read one of her other books before. So, yeah, I can guarantee she's quite funny, and this is going to be quite funny. So, yeah, excited to get to it. And then we have Vinterkrigen. So this is a Norwegian arc. Um, it's the fourth in the series. For a long time, this was like a trilogy, and then we got a fourth one. It's kind of been compared to Bridget Jones, which I suppose I could understand because it's about a woman in working life, like struggling with stupid spouses and stuff. But at the same time, Bridget Jones also have like a thing where you like uh, she tried to get a husband and whatnot, but the main character in this one starts off having a husband and kids. So it's more about like funny things you encounter while having a husband and kids. But like I suppose it's more like funny in the workplace in a way. But there's sometimes it's also like funny things to do with our kids and stuff. So yeah. And then we have two QI books, I would say. En interessant bok om dyrenes verden. And an ytterst interessant bok om alt du ikke vet. So a book that's like in general things you don't know, and a book about animals. And yeah, it's by people who made QI, so quite assuming it's gonna be fun. So that's kind of a given, I would say. So yeah. And then we have yes, it's gonna be weird like showing off this book in a TBR unread books video. I feel like everyone else has read it already. I started. I have not read long in it. It is. Can you guess it? Legends and Lattes. Now, I have not finished this one because I don't like lattes. I don't really think that's kind of the big issue here, really. But yeah, I suppose, and I don't really know because yeah, I've been in a kind of like semi like uninterested in reading fantasy for the last 2 years ish. Like I've read fantasy, but not as much as before, even though there's still cool fantasy coming out. But like this, it's not like it's a high fantasy. I think I mean it's like it's low stakes. In it's high fantasy, well, like because you have characters from different races and stuff, but it's not like it's a big battle book, and it's not even like it's a big book. But I just haven't read much in it. I don't know. I suppose maybe it's just kind of a bit slow in the beginning, and that's kind of what scares me. Because I have started. I don't honestly I don't remember if I've read the first chapter or what, but now I see I don't have a bookmark in it, but I believe I started. I don't remember where I stopped. I can't see that bookmark now. Like I haven't dog eat or anything, so I suppose I have to start from over again. But yeah, if you read this and like the first one second chapter is slow, please just tell me so I know that it's just a bit of slow beginning. Or maybe I'm just the one in a million who won't really like this book. I just still want to give it an honest chance. I just haven't really gotten to it so far. So yeah. And then we have Razor Girl by Carl Hassan. So I've heard that this author is very funny. And yeah, so this is kind of also been has been described as a very funny mystery story. So yeah, I like mystery if it's funny or historical, like something else. And this sounds like a very funny book. So yeah. And then we have Pandemic, a big time novel. So this also has turned out like when I got it after ordering, it turns out it's the fifth in the series. But yeah, it's written by Jennifer Estep, and yeah, she writes very funny books. I've read her other books, or all of her other books, not all of them, but some of them. And yeah, this is a superhero story set in like superhero with adults. So yeah, and also not like a huge story, new huge commitment, but still, I yeah, I'm gonna assume this is gonna be funny, really. And then we have Time Villains, Monster Problems by Victor Pinheiro. So this is the second book in this Time Villains series. I read the first one, which is just called Time Villains, last year. And yeah, it's a middle grade series where uh, people from myths and history come to life because of a magical small town. And yeah, it's quite funny. And oh, the first one was quite funny, so I'm gonna assume the second one, this one is as well. So yeah. Then we have It Happened One Midnight by Sarana D. Wild. So this is all about fairy godmothers and kind of like, I suppose it's kind of like a rom-com, but like with fairy godmothers in the mix. And so yeah, that just kind of sound like a cheesy, well, a bit of a cheesy, but like funny, delightful story. So I'm thinking there's gonna be some funny misunderstandings and funny interactions in this book. I don't really have that much argument as to why, but I just kind of think it will. And then we have Eris Apparently by Diana Ma. So this has been compared to Princess Diaries, and it's kind of like the daughter of a famous. I think it's the daughter of like rich people in Japan. Oh, in Beijing. I think it might like some like talk about Beijing royalty, but like Beijing doesn't have royalty. I suppose. I mean, anything can happen in books, so maybe Beijing has royalty in this book. Well, I suppose you could just like be like, boom, surprise, your dad is rich, and then kind of one of those kinds of stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking it might be some funny hijinks in this one. So yeah, give me a little moment. I just have to fix something. And then we have a few more books. So yeah, I suppose we already have 70 minutes of books, but yeah. How to Kidnap the Rich by Raul Reina. This is also like on my tentative TBR for April. That was maybe I'll read April, but maybe I won't. But yeah, it's been described as a satire of the Indian society. So like when its description has like satire or stuff like that in it, you know it has to be funny. At least that's kind of what I'm assuming. And yeah, I mean, the back says like, uh, this is explosively funny. What explosively funny? Does that mean like you explode when you fart because you laugh so much? Explosively funny is just interesting wording, isn't it? But yeah. Anyway. And then we have The Marvelous by Doniel Clayton, which I have started. I don't know where my bookmark went. That's weird. But I have started. I have read like one or two chapters into it. And yeah, so far I'm enjoying it and thinking it will have some funny hijinks, shenanigans now and then in it. So yeah. And then we have the This Severed Thread by Leslie Weather. Second one in this trilogy. Yes, it's a trilogy, and I love the first one. So yeah, I suppose one of my most anticipated reads of this year. Why I have not opened it yet and started it, I don't know. I just haven't. I suppose no, I don't really know why I haven't, because I was so excited to get it, and now I just have it on my shelf. I suppose that's kind of a common thing with book readers, really, book lovers. But yeah, anyway, the first one was quite funny, very funny. So thinking the second one will as well. And then we have this is the Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher, and yeah, so this is kind of it's kind of been T. Kingfisher writes like cozy, funny, high fantasy or fantasy stories, and I'm thinking this is one of those. So yeah, I've heard people say very good things about this and saying it's very funny. So yeah. Sorry. Then we have Sacre Bleu by Christopher Moore, which I've read some Christopher Moore books years ago, like 10 years ago, no, 8 years ago, yeah, a long time ago. And yeah, I also have this one, which yeah, have not really read in, but yeah, I really enjoyed what I read of him before. So I don't know how I have read this one. I suppose I kind of after a while, because I read three or two of his books, and after a while I got a bit tired of it because I felt like his style was a bit rude, like not like funny or but like funny like I suppose yeah, a bit rude funny. But yeah, kind of I suppose like if I'm not gonna read it, I suppose I just give it to charity. I suppose also I kind of forgot I had it, but yeah. Anyway, I'm assuming it's gonna be funny. In addition to anything else, it's gonna be so yeah. And then last but not least, we have Barmhjertet. So this is a, as you can see, Norwegian book. It's written by a Norwegian comedian. So yeah, it's probably gonna be funny. Uh, I think it's kind of a book about like getting old with uh, style and stuff like that. So that's kind of interesting. And yeah. So yeah, that's my video for today about funny books on my TBR. If you have any comments, as I said, or thoughts, please talk to me in the comments. And I'll see you soon. Bye.